Okay, this is the second video segment for homework number 14, so I'm going to be doing problems 15 through 20. These are the opposite of what's appearing in the first block. Basically, you have to look at these things and you have to recognize which one of the formulas do you have to use in order to get the corresponding answer. Okay, so let's start with number 15. Where is this? Let's start with number 15. Number 15, it has sine of 18 degrees, cosine of 27, and in between you have a plus sign, cosine of 18, sine of 27. You should recognize that this is the same as sine of 18 degrees plus 27, and this is sine of 45. So the answer is root 2 over 2. If you check, put this thing in your calculator, you should get the number root 2 over 2 approximately, of course. Okay. Let's do another one. Number 16. Number 16 looks like this. Cosine of 10 degrees, cosine of 80 degrees, minus sine of 10 degrees, and sine of 80 degrees. Okay? And notice if you look at your formulas, you see that when you have cos, cos, sine, sine with a minus sign in between, this is coming from cosine of 10 degrees minus 80 degrees. Sorry, plus 80 degrees. When this is minus, it means that over here it was a plus, and this is cosine of 90 degrees, and this is 1. So once again, if you put this stuff in your calculator, you should be getting 1 or extremely, extremely close to 1. Okay, let's do another one. 17. So we have cosine of 3 pi over 7, 3 pi over 7, cosine of 2 pi over 21, and then there's a plus sign, sine of 3 pi over 7, sine of 2 pi over 21. And if you look at it, cos, cos, sine, sine with a plus sign in between means it was cosine of 3 pi over 7 minus, because when this is a plus, this is a minus, 2 pi over 21. Now I have to do a little bit of legwork here. So the common denominator is 21. So it's going to be 9 pi minus 2 pi. Is that right? Yeah. So this is cosine of 7 pi over 21, or cosine or cosine of pi over 3, and the answer should be 1/2. Should be 1/2. Okay, good. Let's go and do number 18. And number 18 looks like that. Tangent of pi over 18 plus tangent of pi over 9 divided by 1 minus tangent of pi over 18 tangent of pi over 9. Now you should realize that this is tangent of pi over 18 plus pi over 9. That's the way the formula works. Okay, so let's do a little bit of a cleanup here. The common denominator is 18, so that's a pi plus 2 pi. So this is tangent of 3 pi over 18, which is tangent of pi over 6, and the exact value of this thing is root 3 over 3, or 1 over root 3, whichever you want to take. Always check your answer, make sure you get whatever you're supposed to by putting this in your calculator. Okay, so number 25, these are different animals. It says prove these identities. So we have sine of prove prove sine of x minus pi over 2 equal to minus cos x. Now remember, you can do this thing without any knowledge of the formulas from this section. However, the intention is for you to use whatever you learned in section 4.2 in order to come up with this conclusion. Okay, so you have the sign of the difference, left-hand side equal to sine of x minus pi over 2, and we know how to expand this thing. It's the difference of two angles, the sine of it, so it's going to be sine x cosine of pi over 2 minus cos x sine of minus sine cos x sine of pi over 2. Now, this is 0, this is 1, and this is minus cosine of x. So notice that this is your right-hand side. Okay? I want to insert a page here. So let's see. Can I insert a page? Insert document item? No. Page break. I don't understand why putting it in the wrong spot. That's the thing. Okay, let's add a few of these and we start up here. All right. Good. So let's go to number 26. Cosine of x minus pi over 2 equal to sine x. Prove based on the stuff that you have learned in this section. Okay, this you don't have to do it based on the material, the formula that you use 4.2. This is you can go to trick circle and do this thing. However, that's not the idea behind this, at least these exercises. Left hand side equal to cosine of x minus pi over 2. This is the cosine of difference of two angles. You know what it is? It's cosine of x, cosine of pi over 2. And when it's the difference of two angles, in between you get positive, sine of x, sine of pi over 2. This is 0, this is 1, and notice that this becomes sine of x, which is your right-hand side. Okay, next one. 27. Prove a sine of x minus pi equal to minus sine of x. Left hand side is sine of x minus pi, and we know what the formula is. This is sine of x cosine of pi minus cosine of x sine of pi. Now sine of pi is 0, this is minus 1, so this is minus sine of x, which is your right hand side. 29. Tangent of x minus pi. You want to say prove that this is equal to tangent of x. Left hand side is tangent of x minus pi. Go look at the formula. What to do here? Control Z. Okay, so let me rewrite this. Okay, sorry. So this is number. What was that? Number 29. Prove tangent x minus pi equal to tangent of x. Okay, left hand side tangent of x minus pi. Go look it up. It's going to be tangent of x minus tangent of pi. Oh, something is wrong here. This is you know what? This is a jinx. Let me start with another sheet. I'm sorry. Okay. Tangent x minus pi. This is your left-hand side equal to tangent x minus tangent pi divided 1 plus tangent x tangent pi. Okay? Now tangent of pi, look at it. The tangent of pi is, if you don't know, if you don't remember, sine of pi over cosine of pi. This is 0 and this is minus 1, so this is 0. So this is equal to tangent of x minus 0 over 1 plus 0. This is tangent of x, and this is your right hand side. That takes care of this. Number 28. 28. Prove cosine of x minus pi equal to minus cosine of x. Okay, so left hand side, cosine of x minus pi, go look it up. It's going to be cos x cos pi, oops, minus sine x sine pi. Sine pi is 0, cos pi is minus 1. This is minus cos x, which is your right hand side, as was expected. Okay, number 30. Prove that sine pi over 2 minus x equal to sine of pi over 2 plus x. Now remember, when it comes to proving identities, you can start with the left-hand side. We don't know, of course, we don't know this, right? You want to prove this. You can start with the left-hand side and force your way to the right-hand side, okay? Or you can start with the right-hand side and force your way to the left-hand side, or you can simultaneously work on both sides, see at some point do you get the same thing or not. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep the question mark here because I don't know. This side, I'm going to use the formula for sine of difference of two angles, sine of pi over 2 cosine of x minus cosine of pi over 2 sine of x. And on this side, I'm going to do sine of pi over 2 cosine of x plus cosine of pi over 2 sine of x. See, I don't know whether these are the same. That's why I left the question mark here. But let's go and plug in whatever we know. This is 0. So the left-hand side, and this is, by the way, a 1. So the left-hand side is cosine of x minus 0, which I'm not going to write down. Okay? And over here, this was 0. This is 1. We have cosine of x. Plus 0, okay, which I'm not going to write down. So this obviously true. Therefore, the original, which means this, the original equality is also true. Is also always true. Always true. Basically, remove the question mark. Okay? All right. We did all of these. Let's go to number 33. It's the same kind of problem. These are the same type of problems. So 33, it says prove. And I leave it, well, we have to make a decision whether we want to start from one end up one side, end up with the other side, or work on them simultaneously. That varies from problem to problem. So sine of x plus y sine of x plus y. I think if I cover this, maybe, yeah, okay, maybe that's easier. Nope. Okay. We want to show that it's number 33, right? This is minus sine of x minus y equal to 2 cos x sine y. Okay, so left hand side equal to sine of x plus y minus sine of x minus. You know what? There's something wrong with this. I insist on finishing it. The sine of x minus y. I wrote this and I wrote that, and then I'm going to use the formulas for sine of the sum of two angle, difference of two angle, sine x cos y plus cos x sine y minus, now I'm going to write this, sine x cos y minus cos x sine y, clear up, sine x cos y plus cos x sine y minus, now multiply that, sine x cos y plus cos x sine y. Now two of these cancel out, like this cancels that, and there is two of these, so this is going to be 2 cos x sine y, which is exactly your right hand side, right there, and we have proved it. Let me see, how do I get rid of all this stuff? Ah, there, okay. All right, number 34. Prove cos x plus y equal to, plus prove that cos x minus y is equal to 2 cos x cos y. So left hand side, cos x plus y plus cos x minus y, and use your formulas. This is going to be cos x cos y minus sine x sine y. That's for this. And then for that one, it's exactly the same thing with the positive sign in between. So cos x cos y plus sine x sine y. So this cancels that, and you get 2 cos x cos y, which is your right hand side. I just want to caution you that these things will appear in your calculus classes. If you ever take calculus, these things will come up, so you have to know. So number 35, prove that cotangent x plus y equal to cotangent x cotangent y plus 1 over cotangent y minus cotangent x. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'll write it like this. Left hand side equal to cotangent of x plus y, and I will write this thing as 1 over tangent x plus y. The reason I do this thing is that the formulas in this section do not say anything about cotangent, but they do say stuff about tangent. So this is equal to 1 over, now this one is tangent x plus tangent y divided by 1 minus tangent x tangent y. Okay, this is coming directly from the formula in the book. Now, when you take 1 and divide it by that, it's going to be as if you take 1 and multiplied it by the reciprocal of the denominator. 1 minus tangent x, tangent y, and down below, tangent x plus tangent y. Okay? I just noticed that there was a mistake here, number 35. This is a minus. I'm sorry, this is a minus. This is a minus. Right hand side is correct. So if this is a minus, please make sure you correct this. This is what you want to prove with a minus sign. So left hand side is that, which is 1 over tangent of x minus y. Now if you look at the formulas for tangent of x minus y, this is a minus, this is a plus, okay? And then that becomes a minus, this becomes a plus, okay? So this is equal to, and I'm sorry, this things happen. You should be able to fix it. Tan of y, and up here 1 plus tan x tan y. Okay? Now, what I'm going to do, this doesn't look like that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to divide the top and the bottom by tan xy. So here's what I mean. Divide the top and the bottom by tan xy. Tan x tan y. That's what I mean. So that 1 plus tan x, this is tan x times tan y, okay? Tan x tan y, and the denominator is tan x tan y, and up here you have tan x minus tan y, okay? Now let's do a little bit of a cleanup here. So this is equal to, on the top, I can do this plus that. So 1 over tan x tan y plus tan x tan y divided by tan x tan y. And in the denominator also I do the same thing. I do this minus that. So tan x over tan x tan y minus tan y over tan x tan y. And the final step is the cleanup. Now this, notice that 1 over tan x, 1 over tan y, 1 over tan x, 1 over tan y, that's cotangent, cotangent. This is a plus 1. These two cancel, 1 over tan y, plus these two cancel, 1 over tan x. And that's exactly what the right-hand side is. The right-hand side is, this is cotangent x, cotangent y, plus 1 over cotangent, this is a minus. There's a minus sign. Look, there's a minus sign here. Cotangent x minus cotangent y. And this is your right-hand side. I want to emphasize, and don't want to sugarcoat this. You have to be able to manipulate algebraic expression. Okay? It doesn't matter whether you like it or not. If you want to do well in your math classes beyond trigonometry, calculus, etc., and you're in engineering and science, you should be able to manipulate these. Don't give up. If you think that you're getting dizzy here, great. Stop it. You saw all the steps that I did. Repeat it until you get it by yourself. I'm sorry, there's no nice answer to this.